Lisa, obviously conditions not ideal on the weekend. Can you take a lot out of it? Does it feel like the season's back on track?
Yeah, I thought it was a strong game, really competitive. We love playing in those conditions. Getting in front of our home crowd was something that we were really pleased to be back in front of, and obviously get an opportunity this week against Essendon as well. So pleased with the 4 points. Conditions didn't really obviously faze us too much, so an exciting brand of footy still to be played.
And what do you make of Essendon? They've kind of been a bit hot and cold this start of the year. Is it an opportunity again to get your momentum going?
Definitely an opportunity. They're 3-2. They've been in good form. Obviously, they've lost the last couple, but I'm sure they'll be fiercely determined to be better again this week. We always have a great battle against them. Highly respected group and really well coached. So a great battle for us this weekend.
What do you feel like you guys need to do this week to ensure last week wasn't a flash in the pan? What's been the message from you in terms of building on that performance rather than resting on laurels?
Yeah, I think they're really determined to keep getting better. They've shown that over the last few weeks. We certainly don't want to be a flash in the pan. I don't think we are by any stretch. We got back to some of the really good football that we know we can play, and another great opponent to do it this week. Just being really clear as a coach on the roles of the players, and I thought they executed really well on the weekend, but another great challenge this week against a really important team who we played in the elimination final last year.
Antonio stepping aside as defensive coach, did that come as a little bit of a surprise to you sort of mid-season?
Oh, we're really close, obviously, really good friends with the Antonio, so I knew it's been a bit of a challenge. She works in a really important job, and obviously Ebony being pregnant and really close to giving birth, we were always trying to be as supportive as we can of her, and we did during the year, and obviously getting to the point in this year where we'd have to travel. So on Wednesday we travelled for 10 days. It just kind of came up and we worked with her. She's highly respected. She'll still be around, but just trying to support our coaches as best we can. It's a really difficult environment when you're working across 2 jobs, so that was the best way we can support her.
What sort of a void does that leave for the group?
If you ask Cam Shepherd, no void, because he stepped into that role, and he's pretty keen on the backs and working with them this year. So we're well supported in our coaching department. So Cam's going to do that. He did a great job on the weekend, and they work really well. They communicate really well. So we've got a lot of good leaders down there too. So I don't think it'll impact us too much.
Just on the final last year, how much can you actually take from that game into this year? Obviously teams change from season to season. So when you're assessing a team that you're playing this week, and you played them in the final last year, like how much do you have to balance up that final compared to what they've put on tape this year?
Yeah, a fair bit, to be honest. I think the game's changed a lot. Obviously, we've seen less stoppages, more scoring, and they're a different team. We've obviously made some changes as well. So it is a challenge to look at the tape from last year. So my job this week has been looking at, the 4 last games. So I've been busy coding, having a look at our greatest opportunities against them. They've got some different players through there. Obviously, Bonnie Toogood's been fantastic, and obviously Kano we know really well. So they're a really good team that's obviously going to be challenged this week for us, but one in which we think we can take a lot of learnings out of last week and still build on the momentum for us this week.
Someone like Bonnie, is it a case of limiting rather than trying to stop completely?
Yeah, I think so. She's a very, very good player, as we know. She leads really well, and she's always an opponent to play on. But we've got a great back line. We back in all of our backs, and no doubt Cam Shepherd will make sure that she's well held. That's our aim, and but good players always find opportunities to kick goals as well.
What's the win done to sort of relieve the pressure around the club?
Yeah, no, I think we're doing really well, and like I said, coming off a win last week was fantastic, and I think just gave us the confidence that we probably needed heading into this week against Essendon. We know they're going to be tough, but I think Lisa always brings it back to trusting ourselves and trusting our game plan and each other to get the job done, and I'm really confident heading into this clash against Essendon.
What are some of the key areas or key metrics you guys are looking at for the Bombers?
We've been pretty much sticking to what we know, and that's a contested game of footy. We actually had Lisa's husband, Mike, come down and help us at training, and we've been really working on kind of getting into the eyes of the ball carrier to support someone picking up the ground ball so that we can then work it from close in contest, then out to the runners on the outside. So hopefully we can get our ball moving better into our forward line. So hopefully you'll see a lot more of that this weekend as well. And the conditions should be good. So the ball movement should look good, and hopefully our forwards are kicking heaps of snacks.
How are you? How good was it last week to be back on the field and celebrating a derby with your teammates?
It's fantastic. I'm probably the worst player to be on the sidelines watching, to be honest. I am very loud and I get very passionate about the girls, and I think just felt really helpless against Sydney, obviously not being able to be out there with the girls. So tried my best to support them off field, but it's certainly incredible being back out there on field with them and just playing my role, doing what I do best, but knowing that, yeah, you're just having fun with your teammates in the end.
Lisa kind of joked that you were banging on her door, kind of asking for the recall. What was the week off like for you? Like, what did it look like when you can't prepare for a game but you still want to remain connected to the team?
Yeah, I think as a leader, all of our jobs as leaders are to get around each other and to make sure you're best supporting your teammates. And so the least I could do was go and talk to my teammates about what they needed to do and try my best to help them get there as well. And really exciting opportunities to obviously have girls come into the team as well. So always thinking that, as much as I didn't get the opportunity to play, there were so many other really positives that came out of it. And I just did my best to support them throughout that week, but also be their biggest cheerleader as well. So and I think I did that pretty well, and I think that passion always lives through with me. So you'll see that again this weekend on the field as well.
Were there any nerves or worries from your perspective, given the nature of injury, given it was a concussion and Aiden's unfortunate kind of history with it? Like, what was going through your head when you realised you suffered a head knock? Were you nervous? Were you quite emotional?
Yeah, certainly. I feel like with a head knock in general, it's pretty scary. Like, it's your brain you're talking about rather than, a body part. So, and this you need for the rest of your life. So I certainly do get a bit anxious around that topic, not only with Aiden, just for my own health as well. But obviously pretty touchy for my family, but they've been an incredible support, whether it's Aiden or myself or Nathan, doesn't matter which one of us, we're always going to support the person and what they need at the time. And I think we did that. And yeah, to be honest, I didn't really think about Aiden too much, and he was certainly thinking about me, just wanting to get back to my best. It was never a case of I won't be able to play football again. So I just tried to keep my focus on what I could do to get better. And obviously keep in mind that it is still perspective. I get to go out there this weekend and play, and he never gets to do that. So I'll always think about that when I'm going out there, and which is why I give 100%.